miles an hour now. Now ready, set, go. Whoa.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the replay. I am Drew Stew, sitting here with the guy that has been racking and stacking, Clint. 2 in a row, baby. Good work, man.
Yes, sir, man. It's almost just been a blur. It's like a dream come true, you know. I mean, winning one's great, but 2, especially back to back, I just hope it keeps rolling.
Man, how about this guy that's sitting next to you?
He's a legend, that's for sure.
How about 2 days? We had Clay yesterday and we get Jake today. I tell you what.
Yeah, that don't happen every day.
Man, Jake, good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, Drew.
We were sitting here shooting the breeze here a second ago, and I think it was 93, 94, 92, 93, 94, somewhere up there, and you were my first roping clinic ever. And it's just been pretty cool to have a friendship over the years from that, and then have you back here and watch this next generation of guys coming up. Jake, what's it like watching it from your perspective and seeing what's going on in the team roping world right now?
Well, it's unbelievable what's happened in the team roping world the last 10 years. To see all this next generation of headers and heelers both. It's just phenomenal what these guys can do nowadays.
Yeah.
And another thing too, a lot of the guys that have come up through the ranks now, they've been to Clay and I's roping schools.
Yeah. I remember watching these guys, Clint, like Jake and Clay and Speed and Rich, all day, every day.
Yeah, that was the 2, huh? I remember going to Champ's roping school. Him and Speedy, they come down there to Florida back when I was a kid, and I went over there and hung out, and then get to sit here and do like an interview with him or Jake. It's pretty cool.
So I after that roping clinic, we had Christmas at the house, and there was a big set of horns, and the biggest set of horns I'd ever seen. And I was like, Dad, I can't rope the set of horns. And he said, well, I pulled off and I asked Jake how to make you head steers better. And he said, you go find the biggest set of horns you could. And there was a set of horns under my Christmas tree. I've still got them at Mom and Dad's. They were like, and it took me a smooth minute to learn how to rope those horns. But that was the deal. So fun times, man. So heading, let's talk about your healing, Jake.
Well, it's pretty iffy. It's not something I want to go to the bank and try to borrow any money on.
Yeah, but you went down, got them a little bit in Wickenburg.
Yeah, I went down there. This is a huge opportunity. The World Series finals finale here, and I haven't been competing much, so I went down to Arizona and spent about 5 or 6 days, roping down there, and I got to heal quite a bit trying to get ready for the finale here. Mm-hmm. Cool. And had a little bit of luck down there. Right at the end, my last bullet, and I pulled off a second place win. So
bailed you out, huh?
Yeah, bailed me out.
Hey, what was that picture that I saw of you and Clay on social media? What was that, like a 13 roping or something?
Yeah. Well, I'm Clay and I moved up to Gardnerville, Nevada, the same town that Clay lives in, mm-hmm. and we still practice every day. And I'll head for him, and then he heals for me, and then we wanted to rope in the finale here. He's going to head for me here, and there was one roping left. He didn't realize that you got to go to a roping, mm-hmm. and so there was a roping in Morgan Hill, California. So we drove all the way over there, and we get over there, and they had 3 teams, and I was 2 of them. And I lost my rope on the first one for my first partner, and so Clay and I was the last team, and so all we had to do is catch, and so we caught, and we won the roping and got our qualification in.
I thought it was a meme. I thought it was just being funny. Somebody was just, hey, they're back, in the 13 roping.
Yeah.
Man,
instead of Jake and Clay, now it's Clay and Jake.
Clay and Jake, yeah, now it's Clay and Jake, exactly. Hey, Jake, we've sat up here for a couple days with Clint. We had Patrick Smith up here a couple days ago as well. Jake Long was here with us yesterday too. But one thing that we talked a lot about is success in the arena and what to do to make that continued success over and over and over. You and Clay, 7 world titles, which means I don't know how many steers run over and over and how many wins or how many places doing that same thing over and over and over. Talk to me about when you guys were in the middle of it, what was your game plan and how did you guys get to that level? Because there were still great guys. I mean, you were roping against the legends back then. What made you guys stand out and how did you prep to be that team that was the team to beat?
Well, Clay and I started roping in 1985 together, and we lived. He bought a place right next to me, and we just started roping every day. We'd rope 100 steers a day, and we never did really discuss our runs. We just got out there and we just roped continuously over and over and over again, and we just knew. He knew exactly what I was going to do, how I was going to handle a steer, and we just developed. We've always had a friendship, and that's a big factor in it too. Of trusting somebody, and we were looking for the same things, and so I would hate to think what we'd have to do now to compete in today's world. I mean, it's just unbelievable how much talent there is. You got guys, world champions that are not even making the NFR, from year to year. So it's unbelievable. And my hat's off to all these guys and what they can do.
There's got to be something to be said about sticking it out through the hard times, because I'd imagine through seven world titles, it wasn't always roses. I mean, we're people, Talk to me about the tough times, Jake, but the resiliency that comes from that.
Well, you go through a process, and it's just the same grind over and over. You go from the national finals, and you got about 3 weeks off, and then you start back at Odessa, and then you go to Denver, and it's just a cycle, and just over and over and over again. And then your life changes. You get married, you have kids, more responsibilities, more financial responsibilities, having to do roping schools, horses. You lose your horsepower, and so there's a lot of things, and you're dependent on your man, but Clay and I, we've always been, we're like brothers.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the things that always helped. And, it's real easy to jump ship.
Yeah.
You can start looking over the fence, to who's got better horses, who's roping better. But the guys through, thick and thin will stick it out. It seems to be like those guys are the ones, at the long haul that endure the storm.
Yeah. Clint, I've always thought that, the teams that we talk about when we sit down and talk about the legendary teams are not the one gold buckle, or it's the guys like Kevin and Martin, the guys that were there over and over and over again. How did, do you think about that when you guys are like, I know you're young in your career, but have those thoughts come into mind with you, like Trevor and Patrick and what they were doing, and Caleb and Junior? And
Yes, sir. It's obvious. Everybody out here ropes good, but all the great teams, they all stuck together. I mean, it wasn't like one year and you hear them run around behind the scenes trying to find somebody different. You know what I mean? Them guys, they stuck together through thick or thin. I mean, and I think that's what builds a great partnership. I mean, you got to have each other's back, because just because they're roping bad at the time or whatever, it's going to come around for you as well. But you got to stick with that guy and have his back as well, because, I mean, obviously you're both wanting the same things, unless something happens and your partner gets to thinking he wants something different, he ain't wanting a rodeo or something. But if you're out here rodeoing, you're after the same thing more than likely. I mean, you can tell the guys that are and that aren't, and I think that's a huge deal.
I think it's pretty neat. Like you say, now you and Clay are. That's pretty awesome. You guys are living up there in Gardnerville, close to each other. I mean, that's really cool. It makes me happy to hear that. That through all of this, we're still best pals. That to me is a life win, way over the gold buckles. I think that's pretty awesome. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about it. Man, we went over your runs a couple nights ago. You come back and do it. How you feeling right now, pal?
Man, I feel great, obviously. I just hope we can keep it rolling. I feel like we should. My horse, he's amazing. And I feel like as long as I do my job, rope the horn sharp, between my horse and my partner, I shouldn't have much to worry about. If we can just draw good and keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get into it. Jake and I did not get to watch the runs last night, so we're going to see this. We've got the top 5 from last night. We're going to bring up Dustin and Levi. I think they were 4-4 last night. We'll go ahead and Jake, I just want you to pick these apart. We'll put them on loop. We'll watch them a couple times. We'll go down to the next one, okay? All right, guys. Let's cue up our first one. Here we go. What do you think of this run right here, Jake?
Well, Dustin does such a great job of taking his first swing in the box. He got that steer around the neck, looks like. And Levi, he did a great job. That steer, he's got one shot right there. Gets trapped in the corner, got faced on a little bit of a loose rope, but the outcome was phenomenal. I would have liked that steer to stay in the middle of the arena a little bit better, and they probably could have been a little bit faster.
That's what I was just
and around the horns, but 3 legal head catches, so you go for them horns. Junior used to tell me, go for the neck, and if you get the horns, you got a bonus.
There you go. Yeah, like Clint, we talked a lot about, man, that those steers stepping over like that makes it tough, doesn't it?
Yes, sir, it really does. Especially for Levi right there, man. That puts a lot of pressure, and I mean, that's a tough shot. He has one shot, like Jake said. I've been back there on the hillside. You have one shot, and then to get finished, honestly, what did you say they were, 4-4, 4-5?
4-4, yeah.
I mean, to still be 4-4 and you're over there in that corner, that's a pretty dang good run.
Pretty good run for the situation, huh?
I mean, if that steer would have stayed in the center, it'd have been way better, but I feel like them guys did pretty good for that situation.
All right.
The thing about this, too, when these steers come back, they got to rope this steer a couple more times, so that steer is probably not going to be a good draw.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be patterned right there to do that kind of thing.
I mean, it looked like Levi might have got out there a little quick and shoved him over there, but once them steers, learn that pattern, they're probably going to try to head over there again. So I don't know that I'd want that steer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, last night I went back and watched all the team rope when I got back to the room, and I watched this run in particular, and I was thinking same thing he just said. I was thinking, man, the steer's still got to go all week. Whoever's going to run him again, hopefully when they come back, I don't know if maybe if the heelers stay back, he'll straighten out, but
you guys
could go the opposite direction. He could keep stepping off to the left and get worse, but hopefully not.
But you guys will definitely have that conversation, won't you? Like if you and Jake do get him, be like, hey, Jake.
Definitely. Preferably, I would like him to the right. If other than that.
Yep. All right, let's go down to Nelson and Jonathan right here. They were 4-3. What do you think here, Jake?
That was a great spin. I like the way that steer stayed in the middle of the arena. He broke, to the middle of the box, stuck it on him. Steer kind of drifted off. He kind of lost his head a little bit there, and steer drifted down the arena just a tick. A lot of times the steer will pull a leg on you, when they drift down the fence like that. But they got a good finish, stayed in the middle of the arena.
Threw a pretty dang sharp head loop right there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
You're dang right he did. Man, them guys, they've looked good both nights. Real smooth. Their run looks easy, honestly, and looks like they could do it over and over again 20 times in a row if they had to.
Jake, that's the thing that Clint's been bringing up here is how nice it is to keep those steers right in the center of this arena. Make that run over and over. It feels like you're longer, but you're going to be faster every time.
Yeah, for sure. And then it helps after these steers have been through one time. They got a pattern, and everybody's got videos, and we'll go back and run them over and over again, and they kind of have a game plan. They've roped these cattle, when they break them in before the final starts, but now then that they've been inside this building, they're pretty much set on what they're going to do. So that's a good, I just say that steers right down the middle. Maybe a tick low headed there. When the rope went on him, he kind of shrugged his head a little bit. That might be a factor, down towards the end.
Okay. All right, let's go down now. Buds. Let's go to Ward and Hawkins right here. They're 4.0.
No,
Oh.
No? Yeah,
Oh, that's Tanner and Patrick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure is. Boy, Tanner's heading good, though, isn't he?
Man, he is. And normally, Pat, he don't get a leg right there. Just didn't work out. And it happens that way for all of us,
Yep.
Just part of it.
Yep, part of the game. Yeah.
That was textbook, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wren and Bueller.
Yep.
3-9. They made it look
They
real,
did make it
real
look
simple.
easy right there. 3-9, then 1 second in the round last night. Tight head loop right there. Pretty good run, wasn't it, fellas?
Yeah, that would be my pick of steers right there. Wasn't as strong as the other ones, right in the middle of the arena. Jeremy was a little tight there. He'd probably like to be off of him a little bit, but man, he roped him fast and great run. See, I like their run. He's got him on a little bit shorter of a rope. He runs close, gets him on a short rope. That sets the face up a little better.
Yeah, I think Ren's so good at drilling the start.
Start right
Ren,
there.
I mean, every night, every year, you can go back and look years in past. He's so good at getting a start and getting him on a short rope and stepping out in front. And Bueller, man, he does a great job getting up and around them. He was a little tight.
He was
like
tight
Jake
right there.
said right
Yeah.
there, but he's great at getting up there and getting around first legal hop, healing them. Them guys got a really good run together.
Yeah, that was a heck of a shot for as tight as he was right there. And that Ren, he's an athlete, man.
He
I'm telling
is,
you.
man. It don't matter what he does. That guy,
Yeah.
he's good at it.
Yeah. Good run. All right, let's go down to the number 1, 3.8 last night. Yeah, buddy. Short and tight right there.
Yes, sir. Felt really good, That was the start I was looking for the night before. I was just a touch off the bear the night before, but I think the start here has a lot to do with your whole run.
Sure.
If you can get a good go, the steer should be right there, and it just sets it up so much better for your healer. If you can get them on that shorter rope and ease them around there, it makes their job a lot simpler.
I like your run there. You didn't reach and get him on a long rope. You got him on a short rope. Steer looked like he give you a little
Back to the
back to the right. He kind of come to you just a tick, and about the time you roped him, he stepped back to the right. But it all worked out good.
Yes, sir. I didn't realize it either until after the
He
run.
kind of did a little,
he kinda
little
zigzagged on you a little
zigzag
bit
on you
there,
right there,
yeah.
didn't he?
And I think, honestly, when he did that, that's what made him hit away just a touch.
Just kind
If
of.
he would have stayed straight where he was, he would have more or less just rounded around. But when he went back, then his butt hit away from Jake. When he come back, he drilled him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did a great job of healing him.
Look at your fan base up there.
Man, I got one, that's for sure.
Right in the center of the pen. I just love that every kid in the world is working on the Dustin Nega Squeezer reach. And then they can sit here and watch this. And the first and second in the round at 3.8 and 3.9 are for me to Jake away on those steers.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool.
Man,
Right.
I think it can go both ways. Obviously, nowadays, you got to be able to rope. You
Oh,
got to be able to handle a rope.
of course.
But you can work on the other deal, reaching and all that stuff, and you can be successful with it. But also, great horsepower. At the end of the day, it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
And I truly feel like when I started heading, I felt like to be a great header, I had to have the best head horses.
Yep.
I told myself that the only way to get to the top is to find the best head horses and keep looking for them. Even when you get them, you got to keep looking at all times because you never know when one's going to go down. One goes down, you're going to need another.
Yep.
And why be that guy that when you lose that one, be sitting there with your hands in your pockets,
Yep.
you're in bad shape then.
Yep.
So I think having really good horses it's a huge advantage.
Jake, how many horses did you go through? And like when you and Clay were in the middle of it all, how many horses did it take you for 7 gold buckles?
Well, I don't know. That's been 40 years ago, so I went through a lot of them.
Yeah.
I always struggle. It seemed like every year come down because it takes a special horse for the NFR, in my opinion. And I always struggle, come down to the finals and not really thinking that I had the right horse. And the year that Clay and I set the record, that held for 20-something years, I didn't have a horse that I thought was good enough for that. And I went to the U.S. finals at Guthrie, and I sat around there for a couple of days and watched. And there was a fellow who had a horse there, and I went and asked him if he would sell him, and he said, "Yeah, but I got a rope on him here at the finals." So he was from Tucumcari, New Mexico. So I drove back to Albuquerque and tried the horse and roped him, and he had never been to a rodeo or anything. And I took him back there, and he was green as a gourd, but the start's little of nothing here.
Yeah.
And he was perfect for that. I could just go right with him, and he had no duck in him, and the steers were really big that year. And I'd run up there and stick it on him and just have to rein him out and just go to flogging it to him. and them steers just hit and just went off nice and easy. And Clay, roped 9 out of 10 of them. And
What year was that? If you had to
shoot,
look
I
back.
don't know.
Early 2000s or earlier than that?
Yeah, I'm not sure when it was. I can't.
Here's why I ask. These are the things as a kid that has an idol, right? At the U.S. Finals in 01 or 02, Jake's sitting there watching the low-numbered ropings. Only guy there. And I go down and sat next to you, and I was like, what are you doing? He says, I'm watching head horses. And I will never forget that. It's just funny to hear you say that story, because that's why I asked. I was like, yeah, could be the same year,
Well, several years. I took horses, to the finals that had never been to a rodeo.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we won another championship with a horse that I got at the Cow Palace and took him and rode him there. So that, having a good horse, for that situation. Well, it's like Speedy. Speedy had Viper. He didn't ride him hardly at all at any of the rodeos, and then he'd take him to the finals and just kill everybody.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, guys, we've got 7 more rounds. Well, I guess not, 8. So what's the deal? Let's let everybody know that doesn't know. So when are you guys making up that round?
We make up that round Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Never been out of slack at NFR in my life.
Yeah,
Never
slack
even heard
at
of it, but there's going to be a slack 10
Roberts.
a.m.
Gotcha.
Wednesday morning.
Closed to the public, though, just going to be you guys in there?
Kind of. We get to take a few people, family in, but we'll be back Wednesday night as well. But Wednesday morning, 10 a.m., we make up the first round.
Going to make it up. Awesome. Well, I tell you what, to both of you, thanks to both of you for coming out here. Great roping this week, pal. Just keep it up.
I appreciate it. I hope I get to see you some more over here.
Absolutely. Jake, what do you got coming up at the finale?
Oh, I'm roping down to the 11. I got to heel 2 more times and head 2 more times in it. And this the finale here is unbelievable for team ropers. At all levels. We just watched the number 14 paid $175,000 on a one-day event. Phenomenal.
1.73 million.
Yeah. If you're a jackpotter, you have to be here.
Yeah.
For this kind of money, it's life-changing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not every day you get to rope for that kind of money.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's just crazy. Every year we said, I was talking to Ryan Growney here a minute ago, and we laugh about it every year, like, oh, this is unbelievable. And you say it like it's a joke, but really it is. Like, you look around and it's crazy. Look at the people that are just here who thought people would be gathered around here while we're just sitting here talking about team roping, and they're giving money. This roping here is going to pay out $200,000, and it's an add-on roping. The guys will walk out of here with $40,000 today, so a pretty good deal. Well, Jake, good luck at the finale, and Clint, good luck down there, man. We hope to see you back here. We'll just make it a deal. Win the round and come see us.
That'll be fine with me.
All right. Well, guys and gals out there, make sure that you keep tuning into the replay here on roping.com, and also all of the action going on at WSTroping.com. You can log on there if you're a KeyCard or KeyCard Max member. Of course, you can watch the live stream ropings, or you can also pay for that live stream to watch everything that's going on here. And then, of course, make sure you tune in after we're all done here down at the Thomas & Mack to watch this guy right here keep banging away at him, getting more and more rounds, him and Jake Long of the team rope. And I'm Drew Stew. On behalf of Clint and Jake, we'll see everybody at the next show.